All righty, everybody. Welcome to our Talking Real Estate segment with Champions Real Estate Team here at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate team. And my name is Mark Wayne II. And on the video we got here today, we got Russ Williams with Arbor Bank, Rich Howdle with the Champions Real Estate Team, Jeff Peterson with the Champions Real Estate Team as well. I guess we got the matching blue shirts today. We got the memo. And then Oliver Bettine, who is a local artist and illustrator, is our special guest. We're going to chat with him in a little bit, just kind of about what he's been doing in the art world and, even in the publishing world from the children's book aspect of it, and kind of how he and I kind of got connected through there. So, so real estate in the market here. I'll kind of pull up our little chart that we have, our diagram that we kind of go over every week. Here, basically, we have 439 new listings, basically homes that went active on the market in the last week. So it's been about the same for the last handful of weeks. New contracts written was at 377, which is down from last week, which is about 430, 440. And then sold homes is probably the highest we've seen it since we've probably been doing, since we started this back in April, our live real estate chat at 708. So that's basically what that's telling us is what the market was doing probably 45, 60 days ago. Kind of things started loosening up, people getting out, looking at more homes. And then we see now, new contracts written at 377 will basically be our sold homes, in the next 45 to 60 days. Kind of thing we're seeing with that, the delays on the closing timeline is basically and Russ can touch on this a little bit in a second, is just the appraisals. I think we used to be 30 to 45 days. Now we're probably 45, 60, even 90, just with the appraisal backup with refis and stuff like that. So new contracts written being down a little bit. So that's showing the buyer's activity slowed down a little bit this last week. I think a lot to do with, with vacations and things like that. To some of the people, maybe staying close to home, going on those weekend road trips, maybe obviously not leaving the state too much. But that's kind of affects, obviously, people going out and looking at homes. I just had pictures done at a new listing that's going live next week today, talking to the photographer. Obviously, he's out there shooting houses all the time. He said this last week or so has been a little bit slower. July was, crazy busy. It's kind of typical for this time of year. And we're also seeing, what would have been our spring market is now kind of right now with the with COVID coming up in that aspect of it. And then now we're kind of hitting that summer market where we typically see going into. And then ultimately we have what's going on with the schools. Are they opening? Are they not? People, they're doing the remote learning, being on site. So I think some people are kind of just feeling it out. Do we want to go find a house now? Should we get situated for the kids if they have kids? In the school aspect of it. So I think that's kind of what we're seeing, why the new contracts are down from this week from last week through there. So, but scroll out of this one here. Stop sharing this one. We'll jump on. I'll kind of give you a big picture item. So looking at the trend graphics report that we have here. So as we look from I kind of looked at this year to date, we're up on sold homes from last year, about 4.5%, pending houses under contract. So, the market is still very strong, even though we don't necessarily have as many homes on the market. I think mortgage rates were up 19% from this time last, not mortgage rates, but applications for new purchases were up about 19% from this time last year. So there's buyers out there ready to rock and roll. With the sales aspects of it, the homes going on the market, we just need the more inventory as we go through here. So, getting your house ready to rock and roll, that's something we can help you here at Champions Real Estate Team. And even, I think the catch-22 is, well, I don't have a place to go. Well, we can write that in the contract of someone that's buying your home, making it contingent upon you finding home within a suitable amount of time. And ultimately, those buyers that want to buy your house, they're willing to wait because they want a house. They love your house. They want it. So they'll give you a little bit of time to find the house that you want as well. And the things that we have here at Champions Real Estate Team, we know other houses that aren't on the market yet, but are kind of in that situation. They're getting ready or they're waiting to find their next house. And you can kind of play matchmaker. At Berkshire, we have over 950 agents. We kind of network amongst each other as well, finding those houses and playing that matchmaker for the buyers and sellers as we go through here. So touch base with Russ here. Kind of what's going on in the mortgage industry. So I'll let him take it away. You're on mute, so just got to unmute yourself there, Russ. So how's things going in the mortgage world?
You hit on it just a moment ago, Mark. The mortgage world is a little bit on the crazy side right now. To the point that you referenced, we're seeing all-time record lows yet again this week. It sounds like a broken record. And for those folks that are waiting to either refinance or waiting to buy, we don't want you to miss the opportunity. We're seeing some lenders are starting to as a kind of a piggyback to what Mark said, they're starting to either limit the number of applications that they're taking in, or if they are taking applications, you may be looking as much as 90 to 120 days to close. And that's really just a function of incredible volume. It's one of the most heavily regulated industries out there, and it's not possible to get folks trained up in short order to be prepared to handle this incredible volume. Having said that, the first-time home buyer money is running low, but there is some still out there. Some of the state bond programs also have funding for first-time home buyers, so that's a great opportunity for folks that are maybe thinking that they want to buy a house, and we're thinking of waiting until next year. There's no better time to buy than today. There's an old adage out there that says the best two times to buy a home are 20 years ago and today. That's absolutely true. So give these guys a call. They'd be happy to get you set up. Secondly, for those folks that are thinking that they might in the near future be looking at either moving up into maybe a little bit bigger home, their forever home, their dream home, or maybe getting into a rental situation, rental properties as investments, or maybe even buying second homes, you will find no lower rates, no lower cost of borrowing than what you'll find right now. So I highly encourage you to maybe move that calendar up a little bit, get in touch with these guys, and get out there shopping for a home. Every Thursday, Freddie Mac, the Federal Home Loan Mortgage Corporation, releases a national survey of what average rates are for the week. And last year, the 30-year fixed rate note, charging 0.8 discount points, so not quite a full discount point, was under 3%. Folks, it's never been there before. So these are the lowest rates you're going to see. The 15-year rates charging some points are going to be at or below 2.5%. These are the cheapest rates that you're ever going to see, which means you have more purchasing power. Mark has mentioned in prior calls, and he's absolutely right, that when rates rise by 1%, you lose almost 10% in purchasing power. So if you're thinking at some point in time, whether it be this year, next year, the year after, that it's the right time to move up into something different, or maybe buy that vacation home, that lakefront property, or get into the rental game, reach out to these guys. They'd be happy to give you some good consultation to make sure that you're being protected and getting the most for your buck. So anything else you want me to add there, Mark?
No, I think it's good. I think, like you said, we have a lot of clients that we did the renting versus buying, seminar that we did a couple of weeks ago. And I get that question a lot. We're renting and, and you kind of get stuck in that cycle of just renewing your lease. But it is, we're happy to sit down, and get you in, a game plan to get to be a homeowner. And I think that's something I enjoy doing as a coach in my own mindset, just helping you get to where you need to be, whether that's income, whether that's credit, does it make sense right now? If it does, then let's take the next step. And if it doesn't, let's get you to that next step that it does make sense for you. I think that's the fun part, that we help our clients do that rather than just being transactional and be like, oh, where's my next sale coming from? And I just want to sell houses and make a lot of money. Well, that's not going to help you. Your client's not going to be happy when all of a sudden they're in a house and they're upside down and they extended themselves too much and, they depleted their savings, or their emergency fund when they should have kept that aside. So those are things that I really enjoy helping my clients because it's, we build a lot of friends because there's like a crop duster going over my house really low. So anyways, it's like buzzing the tower. Luckily I don't have a cup of coffee, so Top Gun reference. But anyways, so that's just something I look at helping my clients out, with that regards of it. So I think that's kind of us at Champions Real Estate Team, being the team leader, that's kind of the mindset when I'm looking at agents to join my team, is having that same kind of mindset to really help our clients and, and good things come by helping others. So I think that's the other thing from there. So anything else to add, Russ, Jeff, or Rich, as far as real estate standpoint goes?
Not today. Well covered.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Well, we'll get to our special guest, Oliver Bettine. So basically, he and I guess, kind of backstory, we kind of connected. I had some clients that, they've been in their house in a long time, that sentimental value of their house. And, and I was looking online of getting, drawings of houses done. And you could get people in there, but they're like prints. And it was one of those, you send them the picture and then they make it look like a watercolor. And I was like, well, that's kind of cheesy, and I was like, I want someone that I want to support local. One of my other buddies, good buddy, best man at my wedding, he's the art director, education director down at the Joslin Museum. So he had a studio at Clay Works and does a lot of pottery stuff. And I always try to support them and that aspect of it. So I was like, well, I want to try to find somebody local that I can support. And sure enough, I saw Oliver had a post on, he did, animals, pets and dogs and cats and horses, all sorts of crazy stuff. And I just messaged him like, hey, you think you can do, houses? And so it's one of those things that he and I just kind of connected, and we've been, working together for about over a year or so now. And so, just kind of got to know him over that time period, and, very fascinating story that he has and how he kind of got into it. Kind of also a legacy, fourth generation in realtor. He's kind of generational, from the art standpoint. So I guess, Oliver, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you kind of got into it and all that kind of fun stuff.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's nice to meet all of you. No, I started drawing ever since I was really, really little. My dad was a huge artist. He did a lot of landscape paintings. And so just kind of, I've always watched him draw and paint, and that's how it all started. I got published in 2013 as a children's book illustrator called The Big Cheese Family. I'm recently right now working at a grocery store at the same time as an artist. And whoops, hold on. Sorry, there you go. And so I actually met Mark at the grocery store while I was running this cheese shop, and my book was published right there. And so we got into talking about art, and he asked me if I was open to drawing houses. Also, my dad was a huge drafter for actually Boeing airplanes. And so I caught into a lot of his drafting tools, so skill sets as well. So that helped me in the aspect of drawing these homes. So
yeah, because I'm on your Facebook page now, so it's Art by Oliver. So if you want to jump on and follow him on Facebook, he's got a lot of his artwork and kind of see what he does. If you have pets, you have houses, things that stuff you want to do. If you want to commission artwork, I know actually one of my buddies from high school, just kind of funny. I saw that you did the Post Malone drawing.
Okay. So Dan. Dan, we know.
Yeah, so I know Dan White, and so he and I went to high school and middle school and stuff, and so it's just kind of like that small, Omaha's a big small town type of thing. But yeah, so I mean, there's stuff that if you have drawings in that aspect that you want done, going through there, and then I know, like you said, your father, I think he had a gallery at the Lawrence and Gardens and things of that sort.
Yeah,
so
correct, yeah.
Yeah, and then so BateenLegacy.com, you can go on there and. I think as you get some of your drawings done, you put them up here so people can, buy them through the print aspect of it, and that's just something like, I guess we're kind of relating it back to real estate other than just drawing the houses. I think, when I'm showing houses and things, it's kind of you're customizing, you're making a house a home, and finding that unique artwork. Another one of my buddies, Jean Mason, she's an artist. They've since moved to Texas, but she had one of those John Doe statues, and her drawing statue one was right outside of Spaghetti Works in the old market, so I bought one of her big, huge, colorful paintings too. So I think that's something that, if you're looking for something custom, give Oliver a holler and touch base with him on what he can do for you. Whether if you have a picture you want him to kind of make it into a drawing, or if you kind of have just a vision. I think you were talking maybe doing some kind of landscaping, landscape type drawings and.
Yeah, absolutely. I think another thing to help out, especially you guys, is, with your guys' clients and things like that, it's given something so sentimental to your guys' clients when they're buying a house or it's a house that they're moving out of, And so when Mark and I started doing these watercolor drawings, it just, for them, it's very, very passionate, and very, very heartwarming. So it's a great way to give them, knowing that you have appreciation for your clients and customers.
Yeah. It is, I know I think it's upstairs, the one that he did for our old house. And I was telling him before we got on here, that, it's one of those that our daughter, she's 2.5 now. That's where we brought her home to. And it's, she's obviously not going to probably ever remember that house, but it's something as she gets older, maybe when she gets a family, we can pass that that drawing on to her that, like you said, is that kind of sentimental thing for her to have. Yeah. So that's just some of the things, where can they get your book at? Aren't you doing it? You guys doing a second one, correct?
Yeah. Right now we're working on the second one. Ever since this COVID-19 hit, kind of slowed slow things down a little bit.
Yeah.
Tony Jarrett's in Hollywood, California. He's working on some things too, and so he's actually just lost one of his family members not too long ago. So I'm just kind of giving him time to chill a little bit. So, but we are working together on the second book called The Big Cheese Family Plus Two. If you guys haven't heard, The Big Cheese Family is actually about a group of mice that live in the grocery store and give the the dairy manager havoc. So, but and Kroger took on that book. Kroger grocery stores took on that book last year in 2019, so in November. So yeah, so it's actually, you can actually get it at my grocery store at Lakeside Plaza.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so yeah, if you want to check out his book, yeah, jump over there, Lakeside Plaza, the Kroger, over there. And then I'm trying to think what else. Have anything else you want to add, or Jeff, Rich, you guys have any questions?
No, I'm pretty good. Thanks for having me on, guys. I'm hoping that I can help you guys out, especially with you guys as clients, and just give them something special.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to check out any other artwork that Oliver's been doing, so Art by Oliver on Facebook. I want to get it. It's the Batin, BATIN, legacy.com. Kind of go on there, or just reach out to him direct. That's basically what I did. I just shot him a couple of pictures or things like that and say, hey, this up your wheelhouse, and he'll tell you yay or nay, and go from there. So, but anybody else have anything on there? Questions, comments?
I loved it. Thanks, Oliver, for being on.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, it looks great.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I guess we'll kind of wrap up here. So appreciate everyone joining us here, the Talking Real Estate segment with Champions Real Estate Team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Service Ambassador Real Estate Company. As always, you can jump on here on our championsrealestateteam.com website. Search all the active homes on the market. That's the key word, is active. So some of those third-party national websites don't have all the active ones that are on there, or have some sold ones that they keep on there as actives. So making sure you're just getting the right data and the right homes to look at through there, so you can kind of set up advanced search, map search, figure out what your home's worth. I actually was just helping a past client. They bought their house, was it 2 years ago? And basically the Douglas County assessor, it went from 160 to 199 as far as the assessed value. So it helped him get that value done. So that's something you can jump on here and take a quick look at your valuation and see if it's in the same wheelhouse. Also, we have our home buyer guide and home seller guide. You can click on those, download them for free, answer some of your questions before you reach out to us. But as always, we're here to help you, coach you, and set you on the path to doing what's best for you and your family with regards to that. So I can jump out of sharing here. All righty. So appreciate everyone joining us, and we'll see you next week, and enjoy the great weather out there. And thank you, Russ. Thank you, Jeff, Rich, and Oliver. Thank you again for jumping on with us today and kind of sharing us a little bit about your story. And yeah, we will see you guys next week.